Hi everyone, I just wanted to make a quick video letting you know that I'm still doing many much research on Kiely Rodni. So I decided that I would look up a drowning victim up in Truckee and try and compare it to her drowning autopsy. And so this led me down another rabbit hole. It's crazy. So when I called this number, they said that I have to have a name of a drowning victim. And I'm like, okay, great. I'll call you back then. So then I started researching the Truckee area, for a drowning victim that drowned it in the reservoir. And so I typed it into Google, and you're not going to believe this, but this lady's name is Pamela Suswinski. And I think it was in 2017, she and her husband were up in Truckee, and I think her husband has ties up there. And they were estranged but still talking, and they were getting a divorce. And I think she had came up there to see him. At first she ended up dead. And at first they ruled her death a homicide. And then in the middle of winter, they ruled it death by accidental drowning. What is with all the accidental drownings up there? I don't get it. And what? Okay, so what my doctor friend who I've been talking to about the autopsy, he said that, it's really hard. It's not really, it's easy to cover up a drowning, because it's easy to say accidental drowning because it's hard to disprove, is what he said. Especially the longer they're in the water, is what he said. So that coroner report that everyone has a copy of, I finally got to read it, and I was reading it with him, and he, my doctor friend, said that it is not a complete autopsy report. There's many things that are missing. And the other thing that he said was that the toxicology report has these codes that you put in. And when you look them up, it tells you the percents of, how much drugs were in her system. And, she did have small amounts of certain drugs. And the ones that they tested for, like fentanyl, they did test for that. And it may have been such a small amount that it wasn't reportable. Like the other things that were positive, it was a large enough percentage to be positive, where these other drugs that were tested, there wasn't enough in her system, a large enough percentage to be tested. So they did test for fentanyl. They did not test for mushrooms. I'm in my uniform. I'm on my way to work tonight. So I wanted to get this out to let you guys know that I didn't forget about, everyone's been asking to dive a little deeper into this stuff. And I'm diving deeper. I've been writing, I thought I would be done with it by now, questions from all the questions that we have regarding this case, and that the questions that we need answered. And there's so many of them. So I just keep compiling them, and I've decided I've got the mayor's address, the law enforcement, there's a couple addresses I have for them, and then the prosecutor I wanted to send these questions to and say, if you can answer these questions, it would make all of us feel a lot better. And what law enforcement doesn't come out and give a press conference about someone who passed away, and they put a little tiny paragraph into YouTube and says, yep, accidental drowning, and they don't come out. I mean, that is just blatant disregard for this little girl, for this 16-year-old girl, that they didn't even have the cojones to come out and tell the public, oh, this was an accidental drowning, because they want it to go away. What's coming up in Truckee? Oh, I got to tell you something else. What is coming up in Truckee? Elections in November, and they're not going to vote the people out because they're all connected. This is the craziest place I've ever, every time you look up something, it takes you down another rabbit hole every single time. And Wu, oh my goodness, I have got so much information I'm working on about him, and even a police chief before him. And then the other thing is, there's this lawyer that I've been kind of trying to get some information on. So I'm working hard, I've been working, and my grandson had surgery, and my son went to Texas, so I had my grandkids. So I've been pretty busy, but I know you guys have been asking and have more questions about Kiely, and we're not going to forget about her, and we're not going to give up on her. So God bless you, and have a great night.